Hey guys, so today we will be talking about the next topic. Since we are done with first law of motion, we'll talk about the second law of motion today. So before I give you the statement of the second law, I want to do a small activity to just show you what it is about the second law that we need to understand. Right? First law talks about something, second law talks about something else. So let's try to see what it is. Okay. So if you see here, I have an object with me. I have this ball. Okay. Right now we can say the ball is at rest. Right. We know that rest means the object is not moving at all. So net force on this object is 0 at the moment. Now I'm going to change this net force by adding some extra force from my end. So I'm going to use my hand simply and push the ball. Right? I want you to simply observe the ball. Okay. There. Right? You observed how it moved, right? It went from no speed to picking up some speed. Now I'm going to give it a little bit more force. Okay. Right. You'll notice there's a slight difference in the speed that the object takes. Now I'm going to put a little more force. Now if you see how fast it's going, is changing. The more I increase, the more it changes its speed, right? Now, what does this tell us? It's quite simple. If you remember the second chapter that we did, which is motion, we studied that rate of change of velocity is called acceleration, right? So right now I can say that this body is having some acceleration because its velocity is changing, right? I'm trying to move it in a straight line, so I'll say acceleration. Okay. So whenever a force acts on an object, usually there is some acceleration, right? So what the second law of motion tells me is, whenever an acceleration is produced in a body, it is directly related to the force applied on it. Okay, meaning whenever, if the force is more, the acceleration will be more, just like we saw here, right? So now one thing we know is acceleration will be more if force is more. The second thing that the acceleration depends on is the mass of the object. Okay, how heavy is that object? It is quite simple. We know that heavy objects need more force to push, right? So, and their acceleration will be low. So what we can say is acceleration is indirectly related to mass. Meaning, if the mass is more, the acceleration will be less. Okay, if the mass is more, acceleration is less. If the mass is less, acceleration is more. Meaning, a light object like that ball, you just need a little force and it is going to fly because its weight is less, right? Imagine if that ball is heavy, little push won't do anything. It won't accelerate it much, right? You need to put a lot of force. But let's see what is the importance of understanding the second law, right? Why am I supposed to understand the second law? Now, every object has one property called momentum. Okay, now what is this momentum. Okay, so momentum will show you how a body is going to interact with another body. Say ki two bodies collide. If you know the momentum of these bodies, you will be able to tell what is going to happen if they collide. Okay, for example, let's say that there is a wall. Okay, and say you riding a cycle and you go crash the wall. Okay, grim example, but okay. What happens? Probably there will be a slight damage on the wall, damage to the cycle. Now imagine the same wall but a truck. Okay, say that cycle and truck going at same speed, they go hit the wall. Which one is going to cause more damage? Obviously the truck, right? That wall is going to get demolished, probably the truck also is wrecked. Although both the objects are going at same speed, they cause different amounts of damage, right? That damage is because of their momentum. Okay, so this momentum will tell me how much harm or how much change it can cause whenever one moving object is colliding with something. Okay, so for momentum, I will say momentum is defined as product of mass and velocity. Okay, so I'll say P equals to m into v. Right? P is momentum, m is mass, v is velocity. So if your velocity is more, your momentum is more. If your mass is more, then also your momentum is more. Okay, that is about momentum, mass and velocity.